What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here again for another season preview. It's time for the Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche, consistent playoff team similar to Carolina. Their GM, Chris McFarland, going into his fourth year as GM, took over right after they won the Stanley Cup as Joe Sakic was promoted to president. McFarland takes over as general manager. The coach is Jared Bednar, and he's going into his 10th season behind the bench as the Colorado Avalanche's head coach. Truly a remarkable feat in this day and age with the coaches just kind of going in and out the door. But Bednar, he's managed to keep his team above the playoff line every year. And good for him, because after his first season in the league, it didn't look like he was going to last long. So, first line, Lehkonen, MacKinnon, Nashis. Lehkonen making $4.5 million until 2027. MacKinnon, $12.6 million until 2031. And Nashis, $6.5 million until 2026. This is the team with cap issues. Landeskog, how good will he be after not playing in the league for 3 years? He made his debut in the playoffs. He looked good. Will he be able to stand the test of an 82-game regular season? $7 million until 2029. Brock Nelson was re-signed, $7.5 million until 2028. And Nichushkin, $6.125 million until 2030. This is where the lineup really falls off. The depth on Colorado's forward group is questionable. Parker Kelly, $825,000 until 2026. Ross Colton, $4 million until 2027, and Kivi Ranta, $1.25 until 2026. Parker Kelly being your third line left winger is a little iffy. Ross Colton's a good third line center. Kivi Ranta had a good year, but I would not put him on my third line. Fourth line, Pristupov. He's an RFA in 2027. He should be getting a full-time NHL role this season. Jack Drury, $1.725 million until 2026. And then Ivan, RFA in 2026. So, a couple RFAs on this team that'll need to be paid, especially all that entire fourth line. It's a team that doesn't have a ton of cap space, so it's going to be interesting to see how they pull it off, especially with their big free agent being Nashis next offseason. Got a couple of them, Nashis, Manson, and I just realized I forgot to write the year on Blackwood's deal. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yeah, so let me write this in. Alright, that's good enough. So, looking at the other forwards they have. O'Connor, he would really improve that depth. $2.5 million until, I believe he's on a 6-year deal as well. I forgot to put the year, but he's on LTIR right now, so in reality, it doesn't matter too much. He would, I assume, fit in for Pristupov, but we don't know how long he's going to be out, if he'll be ready to start the season even, but missing him is a huge blow to this team's depth. Other players I could fill in, Tynan, Felleber, Gushchin, who they just traded Olofsson for, Barboulay, and Gavin Brindley, who they traded Miles Wood and Charlie Coyle for, along with some picks. So, overall, the depth is a bit lacking on the forward group, but the defensive group looks really strong in their top 6. Devon Tays, $7.25 million until 2031, and Cale Makar, the $9 million cap hit, only good for 2 more years in 2027. What a bargain for Makar. Best defenseman in the league, and that's really... People will debate whether Quinn Hughes is better, but I'm a big fan of Cale Makar personally. Sam Girard, $5 million cap hit until 2027, and then Josh Manson, $4.5 million cap hit until 2026. Overall, Manson's going to be a UFA. I think he's going to be one that goes to market next offseason. But very good top 4 right there. Then you have Malinsky at $1.4 million until 2026, and Brent Burns, $1 million until 2026. The 40-year-old comes along and plays another season, this time with Colorado. Depth, they had Middleton, Akan, and McDonald. If someone gets hurt, they may be in a little trouble there. But overall, their top 6 defensemen is pretty good. Goaltending, you have Blackwood, $5.25 million until 2030, and Wedgwood, $1.5 million until 2026. No issues there. Minor is their third goaltender who can fit in. Nabokov's the goalie of the future in Colorado. He's a guy that could definitely he's not ready yet, but in the next couple of years, look for his name to be more and more in the upcoming goaltenders, sort of like Askarov was, in that sort of way. So additions, Gushchin, Brindley, Burns, Barboulay. Subtractions, Duran, Wood, Coyle, Olofsson, Lindgren, Eric Johnson, and Jimmy Vesey. A lot of subtractions, not a lot of cap space, makes sense. So this team was third in their division this year. Where can I see this team next season? Following the trends of the last couple seasons, it's iffy, but I'm kind of looking at a wild card spot. We can go. Let's go through the previous seasons they've made the playoffs, as they've had a really long streak of making the playoffs now. 2017-18, 43, 30, and 9, 95 points. That was after they had one of the worst regular seasons in the NHL history. Well, in the salary cap era for sure. It was a horrible season, and I'm not really sure how they managed to be that bad that season with the players on the roster. But they turned it around real quick the next year after the Matt Duchene trade. So 95 points for 17th overall. 2018-19, they actually take a step back. 38, 30, and 14 for 90 points, but they still finish 17th and get into the playoffs as the wildcard 2 spot, and actually even win a round against the Calgary Flames. And that's where you see this team is ready to take that next step. 2019-20, I actually picked this team to win the Stanley Cup. 42, 20, and 8 record with 92 points. 4th overall in the league that year in the shortened season. 2020-21, 39, 13, and 4, 82 points, and they finish first President's Trophy winners that season, but they are eliminated at round 2. And I should have wrote this down. First, second, first and second. All right, we're all good here. So, yeah, they were eliminated in the first round by Nashville in 6 and 18. They were eliminated in the second round in 2019 by San Jose in 7. In 2020, eliminated by Vegas they're eliminated by, who was it? 2019-20 was, who'd they play even? Why is my mind blanking? Dallas. They lost to Dallas in 7 games that season. Then they lost to Vegas in 6 games in 2021. 2022, they actually win the Cup. 56, 19, and 7 record, 119 points for second in the league. They go all the way. They win that Stanley Cup, and they haven't gotten back there since. 22-23, they go 51, 24, and 7, 109 points for 6th in the league, and they are eliminated in the first round by Seattle in 7. Then you have 23-24, 50, 25, and 7 record for 107 points, 8th in the league that year, but they get eliminated in the second round by Dallas in 7 once again. It was Dallas in 6 that time. 24-25, 49, 29, and 4 record, 102 points, 7th in the league that year. They are eliminated in the first round, this time by Dallas in 7. So Dallas has been a kind of a kryptonite for this team, and they didn't have to go through them in 21-22. So overall, the playoffs, aside from that one year, they haven't really gone too far in those years. My question to you now is, where do you think Colorado ends up this year? I think Dallas is probably the best team in the Central Division. Winnipeg will likely fall back. Minnesota or St. Louis could take steps up, and so does Utah. Utah is the real wild card here. Depending how Utah does, they could be the one to knock one of those big 5 teams out. And if Nashville has a rebound year, you never know. So Colorado should be a playoff team, but they're faltering. You see here 119, 109, 107, 102. The cap is catching up to them. They're starting to acquire draft picks. It is a team that needs to go through sort of a retool if they don't make a run here in the next 2 years, I would say. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you all so much for watching this video, and I shall see you all in the next one. Have a good one.